Welcome back. As you would have already noticed by the title and that I'm currently in black and white, it's a palette bingo day. I chose to do a palette bingo with all of the Fantasy Cosmetica eyeshadow palettes that I have up to this date. Their new Wizard collection just launched and I did place an order for it, and I also included the Sorcerer palette, which is another one that I didn't already have from them. So in preparation for those arriving, I thought I would do a palette bingo with all of the palettes that I have, and I also included the Lost Library single collection. So if you want to see if I was lucky or not with the shades that I picked for my bingo look, then let's just get into it. Okay, so I have the palettes in front of me and I've got the random number generator also ready. So let's start with the Druid palette. So number 5, which is the shade Serenity. Just a really nice green shimmer. Moving on to the Warlock palette. Number 4, Profane, which is a matte green. Alright, so far we're going green. Moving on to the Fighter palette. Number 1 is the shade Cavalier, so a gray. The Bard palette. Number 5 again, which is the shade Legend. This one is a bit of a duochrome kind of. It's blue, but then it has like a purple flip to it, which I love green and purple together, and green and blue looked good together as well. The Rogue palette. Number 6 is the shade Shadows, which is another green, but it's like a deep, almost like an army green, but deeper, like a charcoal green. And then also one from the Lost Library singles. So let me change the max to 6. Number 2, the shade Scroll, which happens to have kind of a green flip to it. So pretty cohesive color story, mostly green and that pop of blue. So I'm going to think about what I'm going to do, and I'll move the camera in a little bit closer, and then I will do this palette bingo look. Alright, I also turned the brightness down a little bit. Hopefully I'm not like super blown out. I think this will help see the colors a little bit better. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do gray on the inner part of the lid, stick with the greens on the outer. So then I'll probably do this shimmer on the inner half, this shimmer on the outer half, and then use the hollowy, super reflective shade as like an inner corner and probably along the brow bone. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. Okay, so I'm going to start with the outer part, so the greens. So into the Warlock palette and the shade Profane. Okay, I'm gonna flip this brush over and go in with the Cavalier shade in the Fighter palette. And then back into the Profane shade, just to sort of add some more pigment where those two shades are coming together. I'm just blending these out with a clean brush. On a somewhat like fluffy, longer pencil brush, I'm gonna go in with the shade Shadows from the Rogue palette and put that in the outer corner and like along the lash line. Okay, now I'm going to start with the shimmers. So from the Druid palette, going in with Serenity. Okay, then I'm going to flip this brush over to go in with the shade Legend from the Bard palette. Okay, that's not fully giving the impact that I want, so I'm going to go in with my finger in that shade. Way more impact. Okay, I'm going to go in back with the shade Shadows and just add a little bit more where it kind of got covered up by the shimmer. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this brush off, the like longer pencil-y brush, and I'm gonna go for the lower lash line in with the shade Profane. And then back in with a bigger, fluffier brush, getting a little bit more of the shade, but mostly like blending and blowing it out a little bit. I'm going to go in with a different pencil brush into the scroll shade, and it's going in my inner corner. And the like front little spot of my lower lash line, and sort of blending it into that green. Cool. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of it onto my brow bone. Okay, I do have a little bit of fallout. It's not terrible, but I'll have to clean it up a little bit. And I'm gonna pick an eyeliner. I might go with like a blue eyeliner because the rest of it is pretty green, but to tie in the blue shimmer on the front of the lid, then I'll throw on some mascara and a lip probably, and also probably some more blush or bronzer or something. I don't have a lot on right now. I wanted to keep it pretty simple until I figured out what the eye look was doing. So I'll go finish the look and then I will come back and show you the final result. Okay, this is the finished look. So for eyeliner, I went with the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner in the shade Electric, which is just a really bright blue. And I think it really ties in the blue shimmer that's on the front of the lid. And on my lips, I have the Lethal Cosmetics. It's just like their liquid lipstick, I think. It's in the shade Hydra. I figured a cooler tone purple would go really well with the blue and the green. And I'm really digging how the lip looks with the eye look. And everything else that I added to my face, I will leave in the description down below. And I'll also end up having a flat lay Instagram post of this look and everything that I used on my face. So if you want to head on over to Instagram and check it out there, I'd love to have you over there as well. So overall, I'm really pleased with how this look came together. I kind of got lucky in the colors that I got because they're all really cohesive and they went together really well. There wasn't a shade that I didn't really know what to do with. So I think, yeah, this was like one of those lucky palette bingo days. I've been super impressed with the Fantasy Cosmetica eyeshadow formula. I haven't had these eyeshadow palettes for very long, but every time I use them, I love how the looks turn out and the shadows themselves perform really well. I'm also super impressed with the Lost Library single collection. So they're all like super special, shiny, shifty, and a couple of them are holochromes as well. So overall, I'm very impressed with the brand. And like I said in the beginning, the Wizard collection I did order, and I believe it's already shipped. And in the order, I also got the Sorcerer palette, which is the one other palette from them that I did not already have. So I'm excited to play with both of those when they get here. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like stuff like this and want to see more, subscribe before you go. I would love to have you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.